If you have added a lift to your 2007 through 2018 Silverado 1500 and it didn't come with upper control arms, or the current ones that you have on your truck are worse for wear and you want an upgrade as well as a replacement, this red Rough Country forged upper control arm kit for 2.5 to 3.5 inches of lift will be a great choice to consider. Now these will be tailored to the Silverado owner who is looking to improve the drivability of their truck, correcting vital suspension angles after installing a lift, no matter if it was a spacer lift or an upgraded strut assembly. This set will also be great if you are very hard on your truck and want more durable suspension components that will last the long run for no matter what you're doing with your Silverado, whether you're on the street all the time or taking it on the dirt. When you lift your truck, the control arms do sag down and have more load than necessary on them because of the angle not being as flat as it should be, and that can cause some instability, it can limit your suspension, and ultimately it will accelerate wear. Now these, however, will have the correct caster angles to position the suspension correctly and provide a more consistent ride. These will also last much longer than the factory ones with more durable components and a maintainable or serviceable construction, so if you are taking your truck on the dirt, you're not going to have to worry about these even in tough scenarios. Now these are made of a forged aluminum material, and because these are solid, there are not going to be any weak weld points, making these incredibly strong. These will also include POM ball joints, which are very reliable in their strength, and they also will help improve the articulation with the construction as well as the better angle that they're going to provide. Now on top, these will also have a little plastic cap to cover up the Zerk fitting on the ball joint here. So like I mentioned, you can grease these and service these, and on either end they're going to feature OEM style rubber bushings that are going to make a great replacement to your worn ones, restoring that factory-like feel for a comfortable ride in your Silverado. Now this set right here is going to come in at around $375, which is fairly affordable for a set of upper control arms, especially full aluminum ones. Now comparing this to others on the page, there's a large range of options from steel to forged and even some fancy choices with some adjustability or Heim joints on either end instead of a standard bushing. Now this set, however, is going to stand out in the fact that these are going to be incredibly strong. They look really good inside the wheel well with the red coating that's also going to protect the aluminum. You can service them, and they are very affordable, leaving you without the extra frill that you may not necessarily need for your setup. Now, in my opinion, if you want to save a couple bucks and get a reliable set of control arms for your Silverado, then these are going to be a great choice for you. Now install will be fairly straightforward and easy if you do have some mechanical know-how, so I am going to say that this is about a 2 out of 3 on the difficulty meter, taking about 2 hours or so to get the job done with the right tools and the right setup. Now speaking of the install, one of our customers has actually installed these on their Silverado and is going to walk you through what the details look like and how to install these step by step, whether you're tackling this job at home or you're just curious about how these are installed. So that is going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into that install.
The tools you're going to be using today is a socket wrench, a 10mm socket, an 18mm, and a 21mm. You might need a crescent wrench or a 21mm wrench. You're probably going to need a sledgehammer, and that should be about it. You may need a breaker bar if some bolts are been on there for some time, but this should be about it. Today, we're going to be changing the upper control arms on this 2008 Chevy Silverado 1500. Let's get right into it. First things first, we're going to want to loosen these lug nuts on this tire. That way when you jack it up, you should be able to take them off. Alright, next, we're going to remove this bolt right here that connects the brake lines. And then we're going to remove, I think that's it. Just remove this right here using a 10mm bolt or socket. Now we're just going to move this brake line to the side here. Now we're going to remove this bolt right here, holding the upper control arm to the knuckle with an 18mm wrench. Once we got that bolt removed, this upper control arm should come up and the knuckle drop down. If not, you may have to hit the knuckle a couple times with a sledgehammer. Now, it might be easier to turn your wheel all the way to the right or to the left so you can get a good aim at the knuckle. Now that we removed the bolt up under here, next we're gonna remove the tie rod bolt. Right up under here. Using a 21 millimeter. Now let's remove the tie rod. Now with that removed, the rotor should spin freely. Now to release the upper control arm from the knuckle, you may have to hit the knuckle a couple times with a sledgehammer to release it. Sometimes you can get a pry bar or whatnot and pry the top control arm off. Since this is an old one, the boot's already broken. Won't damage it too much. Now the upper control arm is released, we can remove it and have something to support this rotor, because we don't want these brake lines pulling and getting ripped. I'm gonna just put this tie rod back in, support it that way. Next, we're going to remove these bolts here on the side. They are 21 millimeters, so you'll need a 21 socket and then a 21 millimeter wrench or a crescent wrench. And remember the way that these cams go in, because they're going to have to go in the exact same way. If you have a 21 millimeter deep socket, that's going to work best. And I'm going to be using a crescent wrench on the other side. Now we repeat the same process on the other side. Now that we've removed those bolts, the upper control arm should come right on out. all we have to do is repeat the process backwards. We're gonna install our new ones. Now, if yours is very rusty like mine, I would suggest cleaning them up a little bit, because why not? Get a wire brush or something. And pop these babies in here. We're just gonna install these the exact way they came out, the best you can. On your other cam on this side. And we're going to not tighten these, but snug them, these bolts in here, because we're going to tighten them later. You want to have this tightened at its neutral position so it's not putting too much stress on these boots. The same for this on. Now we're going to put the control arm back in the knuckle. I'm going to install this arm like so. Once that's installed, we're going to put the bolt in on the bottom and tighten it up. Now we'll install this nut. Now, I can't get a torque wrench up in here, but you want to tighten this down to 50 foot-pounds. You don't want to over-torque this. Now, we're going to make sure that our tie rod is tightened. Once we tighten our tie rod, then we're going to put back on the brake line bolt. Once we put that on, we put the tire on, drop it down, tighten these bolts up, and we should be done. So let's tighten up this tie rod. Now, we put this bracket back on. Tighten that with the 10 millimeter. Now that it's lowered, we're going to tighten up those bolts on the lower control arm, upper control arm. Now with those bolts tightened, you tighten your lug nuts and you're good to go.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of these Rough Country forged upper control arms for 2.5 inches to 3 inches of lift in a red finish, fitting all 2007 through 2018 Silverado 1500s, and you can find these right here at AmericanTrucks.com.